Hello and welcome. I'm Ijoma Onyato. Tonight, 2 suicide bombers killed 10 people, injured 48 others in Muna Garage area of Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Gunmen abduct 4 expatriates in Kaduna state, killing 2 police escorts in their convoy. Senate in rowdy session over planned defection of Senator Sonny Odrugbo from the opposition People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress. And scarcity of water hits South Africa's tourist city of Cape Town as government proposes widespread rationing of tap water for all.
On business news tonight, African Development Bank officials and finance ministers for West Africa and Central Africa agree to speed up implementation of 5 strategic priorities on the continent.
On sports news, the Niger Football Federation confirms 6 pre-World Cup friendlies for the Super Eagles ahead of Russia 2018.
We begin tonight with the killing of at least 10 people by 2 suicide bombers at the popular Muna Garage in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. At least 48 others were injured in the attack. The injured have been taken to the hospitals for more treatment by officials of the National Emergency Management Agency and the Red Cross Society. The State Police Commissioner, Damien Chukwu, confirmed the attack and says the area has been cordoned off. Meanwhile, the killings in Benue state have not stopped as 6 persons have again been confirmed killed by suspected herdsmen in a set of renewed attacks on Logo, Guma and Okpoku local government areas of the state. Governor Samuel Otom confirmed the killings when he received the former military administrator of the state, retired Brigadier General Dominic Oneha, at the State House in Makurdi. The governor explains that 2 women had been reportedly killed in Goma and 2 persons in Logo, stressing that pockets of killings were still going on across the state. He also reiterated his call on security agencies to arrest the leadership of the Miyetti Allah, whom he says are still threatening to resist the implementation of the open grazing law in the state. Governor Otom explained that the clashes between herdsmen and farmers have been on for years without anyone coming up with a bold step to address it. And he said the law was meant to permanently address that challenge. And as the outrage over the killings by herdsmen in Benue and other states across the country continues, Nigerians have been suggesting ways to stop the bloodshed. The latest is coming from the Vice Chairman of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, Senator Shehu Sani, who believes the matter must be tackled urgently. Senator Sani, who was a guest on our breakfast program, Sunrise Daily, says states with cattle grazing population have a duty to spearhead the ranching option.
If this issue is not contained, curtailed, or put a stop to, it will catapult or expand into a national crisis. And I believe that if there is any person whose attention is very much needed now, is the president. And the political class, particularly those in the ruling establishment, have a duty to emphasize and support and advise him in every possible way. I believe the states that have Ministry of Agriculture should be able to establish ranches or colonies or whatever, or estates for cattle in their own, and then the federal government can look at the possibility of supporting them. For the federal government to now say they are establishing ranches in all parts of the country, that is going to be a serious equivalent tax. We must accept that this violence is criminality, and those who are involved in it should be dealt with squarely without putting any ethnic, sectional, or religious color to it. And secondly, we must in every possible way be very clear and unambiguous in our position on this issue. There are insinuations that the herdsmen are protected, they are paid, they are pampered. These are not very far from the truth, because if the way we will deal with insurgents group like the Boko Haram and the way we are very fierce on other ethnic militia, we will also stand up to these herdsmen, and that should be very clear. But also there's also the need to have a clear demarcation between peaceful cattle rearers, Fulani cattle rearers, and armed herdsmen. So we must be very frontal in this, and the president has to know it very well that his integrity and the credibility of his government is at stake.
Away from the herdsman's killing, suspected kidnappers have killed 2 policemen and abducted 4 foreigners, 2 of them Americans and another 2 Canadians in Kagarko local government area of Kaduna State. Police authorities in the state have confirmed the attack, saying the gunmen ambushed the vehicle conveying the foreigners around 7 p.m. on Tuesday night while they were returning to Abuja from Kafanchan. The spokesperson to the Kaduna State Police Command, Mukhtar Aliyu, explained that the policeman was shot dead during an exchange of gunfire with the assailants, who later took away the 2 foreigners to an unknown destination. He said that troops of the anti-kidnapping unit of the police command have been deployed to rescue the foreigners and arrest their abductors. And the militant group, the Niger Delta Avengers, is threatening to resume deadly attacks on oil installations and facilities in Nigeria's oil-rich region if the federal government fails to restructure the country's democracy. A statement published on the group's website says the attacks will be the most deadly and will be targeting the deep-sea operations of multinationals. They claim their plan to attack oil facilities is a fallout of the killing and alleged division in some parts of the country. The group says, quote, "On the 3rd of November 2017, we promised to reactivate Operation Red Economy. But as usual, some over-patriotic elders intervened and appealed, as they've done twice before then, for us to avail them more time to attend to the demands of the Niger Delta, as championed by the Niger Delta Avengers." End of quote. The group says it's resolved not to listen to the Niger Delta elders, insisting all they wish for is Nigeria's restructuring and to control the resources of the oil-rich Niger Delta. The Niger Delta Avengers dealt a heavy blow on oil installations in the Niger Delta region in 2016, cutting down the country's oil output by about 1.1 million barrels per day from more than 2.2 million barrels per day. The River State Governor Nyesom Wike has raised an alarm that suspected criminal gang leaders wanted by his administration are being wooed by the opposition in the build-up to the 2019 elections. Governor Wike's allegations follows the killings of occultist Don Wani by security operatives. He says the situation is capable of causing a major security crisis in the state. Our correspondent Emmanuel Ere reports.
It's over a week since the alleged murderous cultist Don Wani met his Waterloo along with some of his gang leaders at the hands of security operatives. There is a sense of relief in the atmosphere in Omoku and its environs in Ogba Egbema Undoni local government area of River State, also known by its acronym ONELGA. The people gather for a security meeting at the headquarters of the local government area after numerous killings in their communities.
Women, you know, as they were killing men in this local government, they are our husbands and our sons who endured so much pain in this local government.
Shortly after, the state governor arrives for what the traditional rulers and leaders also considered to be a victory meeting.
Onega people, through the efforts of Your Excellency, can now confidently sleep with their 2 eyes closed.
The governor outlines his plans for the development of the area.
They are wanted in the canal roads in Omo. They abandoned it. I have come to finish it. I have awarded Albert Eboma Road. From that side, they started working, is it not? Go and see the general hospital. I said we must build a standard hospital for the people of Omo.
10-month-old Unity is one of the many children orphaned by the heartless killers. Governor Wike warns that no life should be sacrificed on the altar of his political ambition.
I want to say clearly to everybody that is here, if you think you want to support me to be a governor and then you want to go and kill human beings, do not support me.
All said and done, The people have had more than enough horror of killings, and they expect that going forward, the security crackdown on other dangerous criminals must be sustained by the security agencies. Channels Television News.
The Senate proceedings today were thrown into a noisy session as it was about to record the first official cross-carpeting for the year 2018. Senator Sonny Ugwoji from Ebonyi State had come under 43 of the rules of the Senate to announce his official defection from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress. His announcement came with reactions from both members of the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressive Congress, who were divided about the issue.
It's day 2 of plenary for members of the upper legislative chamber after resuming from recess.
Distinguished colleagues,
Senators had just settled down when a senator representing Ebonyi South announced his defection to the All Progressives Congress. While his decision does not go down well for members of the party he is leaving, he is received with joy by members of the ruling party. The situation leads into a rowdy session. Senate President Bukola Saraki then intervenes, calling for calm.
distinguished colleagues, Senator Sonny Ugwoji, I'll keep the whole day free for you anytime you want to come back on order 43 today for the close of the session.
And when calm eventually returns, Senator Ugwoji steps down his decision.
My colleagues from my party, PDP, feel that I needed to consult with them more. So, because of the love they've shown to me, I want to step down my declaration and consult wider.
In the House of Representatives, the Speaker announces the defection of a member, Representative Odebumi Olusegun of Oyo State, from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the ruling party.
I've defected from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the All Progressive Congress (APC). This is in obedience to the directive from my constituents after a wide consultation on the unresolved contending issues in my former party, the People's Democratic Party, which led to the formation of the fresh PDP.
It is a move the opposition frown at.
Mr. Speaker, point of order.
Other issues that came up on the floor of both the Senate and the House of Representatives focused on the need to beef up security in the country in view of the herders and farmers' clashes.
This conflict between farmers and nomadic cattle herdsmen is posing a grave danger to national security, harmonious communal life, and national unity.
Also note that because of the seriousness of the clashes between the two communities of Benue and Nasarawa states and the Fulani herdsmen, the inhabitants of these communities have fled their homes because of the senseless killings of innocent civilians, forcing them to seek refuge in Awe, Kiana, and Doma, local government areas in Nasarawa state.
Meanwhile, members of the Senate plan to wade into the nation's security challenges. They will be suspending plenary Wednesday and Thursday next week to attend a security summit.
3 police officers and a 9-year-old have died in a fire outbreak at the police barracks in Yola, the Adamawa state capital. Eyewitnesses say the fire was caused by a power surge which happened in the middle of the night, killing the couple who were both police officers, their guest who was also an officer, and their only daughter. Some of their neighbors who managed to escape have been recounting their ordeal, while the State Police Commissioner describes the incident as unfortunate. In part 2, after the break, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission arraigns High Court Judge Muhammad Yunusa over alleged attempts to pervert the course of justice. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.